What's the deal? I'm Danny Myers, the bar guy. I want to say happy Halloween, everybody. Speaking of Halloween, things are getting scary. And what I mean by things are getting scary in battle rap, I just started to notice a changing of the guard. So I want to, first of all, I want to say shout out to Geechee Gotti, one of the best battle rappers that we ever seen. And what I'll be noticing is Geechee really doesn't get the recognition I feel he deserves. And I just want to take the time as his brother, as his peer, as a fan, just to say thank you, Geechee Gotti, for all that you have contributed to the culture, being an inspiration to so many others out there, whether people want to admit it or not. And what y'all gotta realize about Geechee Gotti is, on the West Coast, what he means to the West Coast is Geechee is that authentic, like, West Coast guy. You know what I'm saying? And like, everything about him is genuine. You know what I'm saying? He's a good, positive spirit, good attitude. But when he gotta get gangster, he gonna get gangster. And let's start with, first of all, let's go with last night's Drake. Shout out to Drake. Shout out to Drake. Shout out to Chris Brown. Shout out to URL, the staff, all the fans that made the Drake card possible. Geechee Gotti and Loaded Lux wore the main event last night, and Geechee did so much in that battle that was just, it was real dope. It was real hip hop, and it was just the mark of a dope MC. It was the mark of a dope MC, what he did. I mean, for one, the guy is, Geechee's in there, he's checking people. Somebody was talking while he was rapping. He's like, yo, like, hey, we'll beat your ass in here. And he was dead serious about that. Like, you don't say that to somebody if you're not really ready to throw hands. And Geechee and his crew, they obviously with all the dumb shit. So in the middle of him rapping to Loaded Lux, who is considered the top of the mountain, he's checking people. He took shots at Nunu Nails. He took shots at Beasley. He also, it wasn't that he was just randomly punching Loaded Lux. What he was doing was, he was basically saying that the guard has changed. He was saying, listen, when I came in this shit, me and my man Nitty spit 150 with Drizzy. Y'all, when you was the face of this shit, y'all was happy to get a measly 10K from Diddy. You know what I'm saying? I'm paraphrasing, but that's what he's saying. We took it to a height, and what he means by we, as in this new era. The new era is here, and that's the purpose of this. That's one of the purposes of this vlog right here, is that the guard has changed. The older guys, they paved the way. The Arsenals, the Goods, the Luxes, the Moogs, the Reed Dollars, the J Neils, we always hold them in utmost regard. T-Rex. But what people have to understand is, and I'm a fan of these guys, they have their own fan bases. They done built and laid down the cement for us to walk on this shit and do our thing, right? So they're always gonna get that praise as some of the founding fathers. But the eras have changed. Now the bars are more, there's just more ingenuity in the writing. There's more creativity. The bars, the punches are advanced. The punches are getting faster. So if I can come up with like some type of comparison, it would be like back when Jerry West, the basketball player Jerry West, you know what I'm saying, Oscar Robertson and, you know, Kareem, when they was playing the game of basketball, they was innovating it for their time. And now when you fast forward to the LeBron, rest in peace Kobe Bryant, the Trae Youngs, the newer stars, the Steph Currys, the guys that are legends now, the game is totally different. These guys are jumping higher. They're playing the game at a different pace than what was played back in the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s. You look at the game tapes, we wasn't alive back then, so our experience is gonna be of one looking back in the past, like from our fathers, our dads, and our grandfathers growing up in the time of the NBA back then, that was the shit to them. We'll probably look at it and like, oh, that was dope. Oh shit. Damn, that was dope. But the level of competition was vastly different than it is in today's game. And I say that to say with battle rap, back in the day, you had the familiar names, the guys that were starting this thing with the Smack DVD era, the Grind Time era, where you had the Disaster, Mook, Lux, Rex, Goods, Arsenal, J Mills, Cassidy, Party Yardy, Uncasa, just all the guys that laid the groundwork, right? And what I liked about those guys is that they all had their own individual styles. They all was originals. They were the first of their kind. Arsenal was that, he brought that shit to the game. Goods brought that swagger to the game. Loaded Lux brought that pen game and paved the way for all the writers, right? Murder Mook, the all-around complete battle rapper, the angles, the breakdown, the punches, the swag, the finesse, the way he delivered it. T-Rex with that street rap, the way he delivered it with passion, the way he rapped. They had their own thing. But what I'm saying is, the thing that they was doing and what they are known for is not necessarily the hottest or best style for today's era battle rap. And it's basically to say, and this is what Geechee was saying, I took it to another level, where you'll see guys such as myself, Rum Nitty, Chilla Jones, JC, and we are every 2 weeks, every 14 days, you're gonna get an amazing performance from us. On 2 weeks, bars, 3 rounds, and we're gonna get that shit off clean for the most part. We're gonna get it off clean. We're gonna give you incredible punches. Whereas Mook, Lux, their conditioning, their training methods, they're not gonna be able to come and give you 3 crazy rounds every 2 weeks. Like, the game is played at a faster pace now. As you can see with Caffeine, how they pumping out events. URL Caffeine, they throwing events every week, every 2 weeks. They got something going every month, and they're utilizing the guys such as myself, such as Geechee Gotti, such as Rum Nitty, such as JC, Chilla Jones, B Dot, the guys that could put this together in a moment's notice and come and deliver you a great battle. Mook, he's gonna need some months to get it done. You know what I'm saying? Which was like, even with the Easy to Block Captain battle, he like, yo, I was already in the mindset for Briz Rothstein. I can't just in this short amount of time come and deliver what I'm known to deliver. And Mook is basically like, if I can't give you A1, then I'm not gonna risk it and go up there and not fully be who I be 100% and mess around and take a hit on my brand and take a, cause easy ain't no motherfucking easy battle. So there's that. So that was smart on Mook's behalf, and it was dope of him to recognize that his conditioning and his training will not allow him. I'm pretty sure he can. Anybody really can put together 3 rounds in a 2-3 week preparation and get it off. But Mook, I don't think was as confident to be able to do that because he hasn't been doing that. Even with Loaded Lux. Now here's the thing with Loaded Lux, and I'm finna get to that too. I know I'm all over the place right now, but there's just so many things that I have to say. Let me just get back to Geechee Gotti. In a 4 to 5 year span, you saw Geechee Gotti go from a PG battle to beating Loaded Lux. From a PG battle, I met the guy at an AHAT event and I pulled him to the side. I didn't even know Geechee. We had never spoke, no Facebook interaction, no social media, no inboxing. I just seen him. And when I saw him, I saw a star. I pulled him to the side. This is a true story. You can ask him. And I said, yo, man, one day, you gonna be the face of this West Coast, bro. I saw in Geechee Gotti what I saw in Young B the Future. Rest in peace, Young B. But some people just have it. It's intangible. That one thing you can't see, you can't touch it, you could just feel the aura. Some people, you look at them and you just say, he's a star. She's a star. That guy's going to be a star. Or he has the potential to be a star. I seen it in Swamp. I seen it in Swamp. Like, Swamp gonna be a fucking star one day. I saw Geechee Gotti. I told him, you're gonna take this shit to a level that nobody's taking it to. And shout out to the Saurus, Awkwards, Illmac, Disaster, Daylight, all the ones that was here before me, all the ones that was here before Geechee. But, like, to me, Young B was gonna be the biggest star on the West Coast. Like, shout out to his family, Champ, his mom. Just rest in peace to Young B. But he was gonna be our star. Unfortunately, his time on this earth was cut short, and the void, it left a void. Cause I'm not necessarily the star guy. I'm more of the, I'm the serious, like, I'm serious business. Y'all know what it is when I get in that ring. Like, Danny's trying to innovate the game. Danny's trying to change the game and how these bars are presented and the ideas and creativity. That's my lane. I'm not necessarily the flashy guy, and I'm gonna be in there with all the jewels and the chains and looking like the hip hop star the way Young B the Future, the way Geechee Gotti do it. They got that's their thing. You know what I'm saying? So I was gonna be the star. Daylight is also one of the guys that's enigmatic. He's a character, but at the same time, he's not necessarily the star. The star of, he's more of that. Like, we hold him at a level where y'all hold Loaded Lux, right, in terms of the penmanship. So then you have the Emerson Kennedys, the Diesels, Bobby Swagger, Saint, Young Grizz, Next, Dev the Demon, Fade. I really could name 40, 50 people. Shout out to all of them, you know what I mean? But there was a void, and Geechee Gotti came in and filled that void, became what Young B was on his way to be. Geechee came in and became the star on his own merit. Nobody handed him nothing. Nobody gave him nothing. He did it on his own. The man, y'all talk about Geechee ain't the best writer. He ain't the best pen. He say basic shit. Geechee has said some of the coldest shit that I've heard in battle rap. Geechee has said some of the, like, bone-chilling shit, man. You know what I mean? So, and he's done it against the people that y'all deem are the best writers. Now, you watch Geechee Gotti versus Av. Av is obviously one of the top punchers in the world, and Geechee went in there and went bar for bar with Av. He went in there with JC, who's regarded as one of the best writers of all time, and won Champion of the Night. I believe that was like North Carolina, somewhere out there. He won Champion of the Night when they was doing Champion of the Night versus JC. Another pen. He went to war with me when he was still learning this shit. Like, he was already a young bull. And then he went in there with the bar guy and put up a motherfucking fight. Geechee's been in wars. He done been in there with Arsenal, Goods, Surf, Tay-Rock, Twerk. It's like, Loaded Lux, Math Hoffa, Ill Will, John, Chess. Y'all really gotta look at Geechee Gotti's resume and realize he probably has one of the best resumes ever. And whether you felt he won this battle, lost this battle, he always went in there and gave it 100%. Gave it his all. Never choked. Never choked. I ain't never seen him choke. Yeah, he stumbled here and there, but when you battling every 10 days, 2 weeks, like listen, motherfuckers be having 3, 6, 8, 9 months to write for one battle and still get in there and choke. Still get in there and fuck up. And he's doing this shit on 10 days prep, 14 days prep. Nigga went into a tournament on a 2-week prep, and him and Nitty went crazy every fucking 2 weeks. Won a tournament. Won Champion of the Year 2 times in a row, and is in a good spot to win it for a 3rd time, bro. Like, Gotti's one of the best we ever seen, and people don't even want to say that shit. Now, like I said, somebody's talking while he's battling Lux, he checks that person. Somebody got on the red flag and they got it on the wrong side, and Geechee points that out, goes at URL, goes at Nunu Nails, all in the middle while battling Loaded fucking Lux in front of fucking Drake and the whole world. Y'all really don't know how fucking monumental that was. Now you can say his bars wasn't this, his bar wasn't that, but I think what Geechee did was he neutralized Loaded Lux's pen game with just being effective. It's a simple approach, but it's an effective approach, and it's just like he was talking to Lux. He was talking to Lux. He was talking to Lux. He was like, we never seen Lux get talked to like that. No, Geechee's game plan wasn't to go in there and out-bar Lux and out-lyrical miracle Lux. Geechee stayed in his lane. Lux, for the most part, stayed in his lane and did what he did, but Lux wasn't as effective, and that's the name of the game. The best pen don't necessarily win every battle. Even though this is battle rap and the point is to be better with these bars than the man in front of you or to paint a picture. But you can use words in different ways. Like you can use words. Words are like clay. Words are like clay. Now you can mold words to create a beautiful picture, or you can mold words to become a sharp object and kill somebody with it. So somebody like Shotgun Suge is not going to be as lyrical as a JC or Danny Myers, but Suge is going to be effective delivering his message in the way he presented, his street tales, his street stories. You can rap with emotion. You can rap with flair. You can rap with haunting images. Tank the Demon got his own style where it's a lot of cerebral images and dark images that he's painting pictures and beating people with this shit. Danny Myers is gonna go in there and say some of the most creative, unique shit you ever heard and beat his opponents with that. Geechee Gotti is gonna tell his story, his homeboy story, and make it so relatable to even a person that never was in a gang or never was in no street shit. You can listen to Geechee Gotti and be there. This is why some of the great hip hop albums of Ice Cube and them, NWA, people that was living in suburban and in rural areas was able to be transported to fucking Compton by listening to the words that these men were using in the stories. This is the power of hip hop, and this is Geechee's. This is his power. Like of course, he's not gonna be the best writer, but when y'all say he ain't the best writer, he's going in there with the best writers, and he's beating them. He's beating them. Y'all said Lux was the best writer of all time. Now let me, first of all, Geechee Gotti, thank you for everything that you've done. Let me move on real fast. Before y'all say I'm a Lux hater, let me see. Is it right here? Okay. I don't know if y'all can see that. But if you can't see it, I'm not sure. I can't look right here on the camera. But it says "Bury me with my integrity." That is a Loaded Lux bar. That is a bar that Loaded Lux said in a freestyle, and so I'm a Lux fan. I got the man's words on my fucking skin before I even met him. So I'm not so when I talk to Lux and I be critical on Lux, it's coming from a place of absolute respect and honor and love. It's coming from a place of somebody who, when I saw him versus Midwest Miles, it was magical, and that's still to this day probably one of my favorite battles of all time. Despite Miles choking, Lux was just so magical and so dominating that when I saw that, I said, that's how I want to dominate in this game. I want to be that dominant with the words, the display of penmanship and the writing and the confidence. It wasn't just what Lux was saying in that Midwest Miles. It was the confidence and the flair. He was a star, not just some niggas get away with just being stars and not really having skill. So they star power compensates for the lack of skill, and it carries them throughout their career. And there's a whole lot of niggas I can name, but this blog ain't about that right now. Lux was one who combined star power with the penmanship, and he was the first of his kind. And then you got the Daylights and the Danny Myers and the Chillers that all came in the vein of Loaded Lux. You know what I'm saying? So when I say it's almost like Loaded Lux has been a myth this entire fucking time. And what I mean by that is we hold him at not a standard, but the standard. Again, for the people in the back, we don't hold Lux at a standard, we hold him as the standard. And when you're held at that, you are supposed to show us why you are the best in the world. You are supposed to show us why every time your name get brought up, the whole culture stops, everybody stop what they doing, NBA players, NFL players, movie stars, the hip-hop stars, everybody stop doing what they doing to come listen to this man talk like he motherfucking Farrakhan. And then when we hear the shit, it be like, it's not what we envision it to be. Listen, man, go to Lux versus Tsu Surf. I'm gonna tell you right now, no, that wasn't 100% Lux. He probably felt he didn't need to be 100% Lux, and he didn't necessarily need it for that battle. But low-key though, Lux actually came underprepared, because had Tsu Surf got his 3 rounds off, he would have beat Lux, and the narrative of that battle would be totally different if Surf, honestly, I like a lot of Surf's material in that Lux battle. He just, you know, he was off that day. He didn't have it all together. I know how that shit go. Lux know how that shit go. So yeah, Lux 3-0 Surf. He big boyed him, he big brothered him. He talked to him like he was like, look, I'm big bro. How you gonna go up against me? I'll usher you into this shit. That's basically what Lux was saying. He just smacked him around. And Surf went to sleep for like 3 days. Ask Surf. Surf said, fuck that, I'm going to sleep. He got beat up. He got beat up because a battle with Lux is like the ultimate thing you can get as a battle rapper, bro. Lux's penmanship has not been where we be anticipating it to be. I'm gonna ask y'all now. Lux did good versus Geechee Gotti, sure, but was it? Did Lux make the rest of us writers feel like we were inferior to his pen? No. Daylight texting me, I'm texting him, and we both are like, nah. If Lux stand in front of me or you with this type of shit, it's good night. Geechee Gotti was able to beat Loaded Lux while fighting off so many other outside factors in the middle of the fucking battle, and he was rebuttaling and all kind of shit. Lux was up there stumbling through his shit, wasn't clean. He didn't choke, but he didn't have it all the way together, and it just looked. Even Jay Black, who's a staunch Lux supporter, Vada Fly, they all even admitted that they felt in the building, Geechee Gotti won that battle, and they're gonna give him rounds 2 and 3, and they're gonna give Lux the first round. And a lot of us not giving Lux that first round. Just because that was his best round, and he did good in that round, doesn't that necessarily mean he won the round. And that's neither here or there to debate. And many of you might even feel like Lux won the battle 2-1 or 3-0. Hey, however y'all call it, that's cool. But what I'm trying to point out is the greatness of Geechee Gotti. And what I mean is, again, the tide has changed over. I don't feel like Mook and Lux should still be. They all, listen, cement somewhere. This shit right here behind me. They're cemented forever. But they shouldn't still be the standard when you see, okay, I saw Murda Mook, he was masterful versus Tay-Rock, and I said, see, that's why Mook is Mook. But then you'll get the battle with him and Reed Dollaz, whether you felt Mook won or lost, it just wasn't an all-around good battle. Again, Murda Mook and Iron Solomon, he 5-0, Iron Solomon was one of the best writers ever, but again, people start walking out of the building and no one ever watched